Hello, this is Atiqullah Imran, third semester student of MBA. This video is part of an assignment of business analytics subject, and as per the rule, I have to work on the second question of this assignment, and where we have the Excel file of store and regional sales database, where and there are various columns like store identification number, cell region, and many others. What is actually asked here is to calculate the total sales revenue for each of the 8 store and as well as each of the 3 sales regions. I will go directly to the file that we have all of these columns, but what actually we don't have is the total sales revenue. So for finding out this, I have to insert a new column here into total sales revenue. So how do you find it? So it is just an easy way to multiply this with the units sold. So for having all of these units, so I'm just dragging down or to double click on the corner of this cell. So hereby I have all of these total sales revenue number for the rows. So the second step is to find out the total sales revenue for each of these 8 stores in these 3 regions. So here we have two ways of calculation. One is the SUMIF formula, and the second one is the Povit table. So the Povit table and the SUMIF have a different approach to calculate. The SUMIF one is a little difficult and a longer way, and the second the Povit table is a little easier and a shortcut way. So I will work upon both of them. So for calculating through SUMIF, I have to have the store numbers which start from 1 to 8. So I have this and the total sales revenue for each of this. So for finding out this, just put equal sign and then SUMIF and then range. Range, we have this store numbers. We select all the entire column, and then I start the criteria is like the first, second in the 8 stores. So I start from the first one, and then I'm summing up this total sales here, and just close the bracket, and hereby I have the total sales revenue for the first one. So I can calculate the same way for all of these 8 stores. So for not wasting time, I'm just go through on a shortcut way, just putting these $sign to freeze these cells, that to easily copy with not having any changes. So here for the second one, I'm just replacing the number here. I have here the first. I'm just replacing with all of these second and third and fourth. I'm here replacing it with the second, and it automatically giving me the result. This with the third, this is the fourth, this with the fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. So I have the result for all. Now I'm calculating it for the sales regions. I have 3 regions. One is south, second is east, third is north, The same way, I'm just total sales revenue, I'm just putting equal sign sum if. Now the region, the range is sales region. I'm just selecting the entire column and then putting this south criteria and then summing of this entire column and just closing the bracket. I have the result here. Now the same way, I'm just copying here and changing this like south with east, this with north. So this is the total revenue. The same way, we have total revenue for the stores. Total revenue I have here and here. Now I'm going through the second way. The second way is the pivot table. I'm just selecting all the entire table and just putting it to the pivot table. Here I can have the new sheet to work on, and I can work on here in the existing sheet. The new sheet is good to simplify the way in the calculation and having a little more space. Here just simply I put down the total sales revenue here in the values part, and then for each of calculation the total sales revenue for each of the store, I'm just having this easily, and for the regions I have all of them, and for having both of them together I'm just putting it here under the sales region. So on here, so easily I have east has 3 store numbers, north has 2, and the south has the 3 more, which is the first, second and third, and the total sales revenue here for the south is this, for the north is this, and the east is, and it's the grand total for all these 8 store numbers in the 3 sales regions. So that's all. Thank you so much for your attention, and see you then.